ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final game of the ESL Pro League is about to begin. Fnatic and NiP clashed on Cash, and we saw the Swede, doesn't tell you the whole story, NiP pick up the win there. And usually I like to go for the nationality, doesn't quite work in this affair. We have a full Scandinavian, a full Swedish roster battling out on this one. And actually NiP did surprise us picking up that win. Fnatic looking a little weak, and now we go into a map infamously Fnatic's favourite. It is going to be Inferno. Of course, Halvor, Vendetta, Gullistol, and Lee D-Man Smith. I've never done it like that before. I've done him before. Lee D-Man Smith. I've done Halvor before, yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly, that's the one you go for.
Yeah, of course. I've got something about that Scandinavian look, you know. But we'll start with you, Mr. Norway. Let's talk Inferno.
Inferno, yeah. Again, well, it's kind of similar to Cash. Should be Fnatic's map, right? The thing is, like, whenever NiP Fnatic play each other on this map, it's always an absolutely insane match.
Yeah.
It's pretty much never a stomp.
Yeah.
It's super intense. We saw it at Katowice, and pretty much Ultimate Hope Core is a bit of a repeat.
Okay, we'll just carry on. But for Fnatic, I mean, you only need to look at their last play. You've got them on the screen as well, but they beat Luminosity on it, they beat Astralis on it, they beat Virtus Pro on it, and they beat NiP on it. That's their last 4 games on Inferno. So you've got to be thinking, well, Fnatic have surely got this one. But as you said, I mean, Cash, you wouldn't expect it to be 16-6. I mean, Semler said it on the desk. It's like, you know, anything less than like an 8-9 round, you're pretty much getting smashed. They only picked up 1 round on the CT side. That was it. So it wasn't good for them. So a lot of it's obviously going to be down to the CT side. Fnatic, can they get anything going? We've seen it already once tonight with G2 pretty much rolling over Dignitas and not able to get that CT side going for them at all. The economy was wrecked.
Yeah, and that means we basically just need to address why that Inferno is so good. And I'm going to look at you, Mr. Magic, coming into this. Fnatic, Inferno. They're hailed. They say it's their favourite. The results, as you already highlighted, indicate just how powerful they can be on it. What are they doing so right? Does it come down to that same story where we go, you can't actually break it down because they're just good players and they're just so flexible? Is that going to be your answer? Or have I just stolen the word?
That helps, right?
Yeah.
But it's also this is something they talk a lot about: communication and being able to actually have the freedom to have a player like Crims, so you can play that solo B bomb site. Also allows for rotations. So communication. Actually knowing where you have your teammates and what kind of moves you're supposed to make and what kind of rotations you're supposed to make, that's the really big thing on a map like Inferno, because otherwise you're just going to get split apart. Like most top teams, they're good at conserving their nades, not using them too early, and they just play extremely well together. They have that synergy whenever they want to do stuff, that they play off each other so well, which makes it extremely hard to get through those close choke points onto sites.
So that sounds like you're all talking T side here.
No, CT side.
On CT side,
yeah.
So they're actually just basically coordinating their rotates.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously those attributes also apply to the T side as well. So that absolutely helps. So that's just why they're so good overall. Because again, it applies to all maps, but on Inferno, such a small choke point for both bomb sites, that helps.
Yeah. And we talked about it with Threat. They got to make sure they use those mollies. This is a map they absolutely need to be using those mollies on. So we'll keep our eyes on them for NiP.
Yeah, maybe some like B molly execute, some more big sucker when you literally just, because you can clear a lot of B site with like 3 Molotovs, and then you just start pre-aiming coil smoke. CT life is good. But anyway, looks like we're going to have to go ahead and jump straight into the game. It's good to have your thoughts, and albeit a short time, guys. Predictions though, you have seen NiP, you've seen them pick up Cash. Are you going to be the 2-0 believer?
No.
No, it's going to be a 1-1 split.
Yeah.
All right. People thinking maybe Fnatic going to have a bit of cold water splashed on their face and wake up from that nightmare that was Cash. Up now is Inferno, and it's the same old casters. I did it again. It's Pansy and Semler. It's Pamela. Take it away, you two.
Thank you very much, guys on the desk. And of course, this was the hot match of, I guess, the week right now, but actually turning out to be a bit of a great game overall, no matter what. This has been a bit of a surprise, I think, to most. NiP picking up a hell of a lot of pace in that first map, but there's map 2. It's Inferno, a different beast unto itself, and this is normally Fnatic's home ground. They've had some shaky results on it recently, but still, you'd say this is one of their big strengths.
They are the dominant team, right? They are the
Yes.
dominant team on this map. And really tough to expect NiP to be able to beat them here. I mean, it's kind of fun though, because like, you know, Fnatic also a dominant team on Cash.
Yeah.
And they didn't exactly have, you know, the most fun there. So it's kind of hard to predict. You know, I'm getting accused of being biased during the break, you know, and I'm just like, well, I kind of praised both teams, you know, likelihood of NiP winning, kind of slim.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden we got a match on our hands.
The one thing I would say is the fact that during Katowice, we started to get excited about NiP's T side on this specifically because you saw that possible influence of maybe threat, but it was the attention towards apps, for example, where you saw that 3-2 split play coming out, and it actually worked out a couple of times. The timing was a little off during some that needed refining, but there's been plenty of time for this to happen yet. We'll have to see if that does come through, as it'll be NiP on the CT side. Speaking of map 1, they've got to be feeling pretty darn good about this, and Fnatic on the T side. And we are into map 2, Semler. Take it away.
Oh, and this is actually no fear from Fnatic. I mean, straight Kevlar and straight up Banana. They're looking for fights everywhere. They're going to just charge in through. 2 headshots into the guys challenging in apartments as well. That is not going to help anything here as far as Fnatic are concerned. I mean, as far as NiP are concerned, they're so low on HP right now. And Dennis, he's lying in wait. They've got Banana control. They're just going to be able to plow onto this B site, basically, and there's not a whole lot that the defense will be able to do. They just need some crisp headshots. That's all they can hope for, and they do manage to spot out Dennis and drop him low already.
Get right, not hitting one on the cross, but he hits 2 just a little bit later, and they are getting towards the site now for Fnatic. And no shots will be hitting anymore. Good work from Get Right, just about not able to kind of link anything else together, so the bomb's going to go down, and now, of course, the 2 players on the rotate were the 2 that made those challenges in the apartments earlier, being Pit and Exist. And actually, Exist going to find Dennis very nicely there. The USPS going to come in strong at this point, but these Glocks need to hit 1 shot per person. They'll be fine. Flusher lines up Pit, knocks him down, and he's going to get the follow-up towards Exist. So, good beginning for Fnatic, looking a bit brute force-ish, looking like they want to make a point. You know, when you get these guys kind of riled up, they certainly like to pick up the pace here. And now I want to see if NiP can handle what Fnatic are going to throw at them.
I certainly wonder. Because this is where Fnatic are going to be pissed off. They're all making jokes during the break as well, like, oh well, you know, I've had my drink now. You know, my Monster. Yeah, JW like, oh, I didn't have my can of Monster yet, guys. You know, just got to get that going real quick and we'll be good. I mean, that's what JW's always about, man. He's the troll. But also Flush has said, you know, okay, we'll stop. We've agreed to stop throwing rounds. So Fnatic, like we said, you know, at the end of that first map, you know, they looked a little sleepy, basically, you know, a little disjointed at the beginning of Cash. They weren't able to recover themselves in that map, get their heads in the game. Now on Inferno, they're definitely controlling the pace here.
Yeah, the wolf pack just kind of plowing through A, just does find the site eventually, leaving Freiburg stuck in CT Arch. A little bit of monkey business trying to happen here, but oh, Flusher, please. Still goes down, but the nade just landing at Freiburg's feet kind of sucks for him there, but still, okay. Rifles left in the game. We've got 2 still. We've got 1 on Dennis and Olaf, and then 2 and 3K left on JW, who's probably just going to get dropped out at the Mac 10 so he can have the minimal investment, maybe look later into the game towards the AWP if he fancies it. But then again, T-side Inferno, not exactly noted for the AWPing, but then again, it's JW. It doesn't really matter when he's on it. So I know what they're up against, but NiP, P250s really at max. And aside from that, literally absolutely nothing to work with. Not a single flash to be seen, just a stack. As it looks like they were expecting maybe that CT Arch wrap to come through, something that's very common with Fnatic, by stacking out 3 players dedicated towards Arch, Exist and Forest towards site, but Fnatic just going to take themselves over towards B.
Yeah, they get control of it full on. So now JW, true JW style, just charging into CT, looking for a few kills with that Mac 10, means that he'll be able to get up to that AWP fairly quickly, it looks like. So that's going to be feeling pretty good for himself. Gets 2 kills, $1,200, and the bonus money means that, yeah, he'll be able to get whatever he wants in the next round. So what happens next? What happens next?
Pretty clean. Good connection in the end then coming out. Things Exist doing really nice with the USPS, actually. He managed to take down Dennis and JW, if I'm not mistaken. Not going to find any more, so making it mildly costly, but nothing too bad. Still 2 rifles there for Fnatic, so sitting on around, you know, a lot of money. You got 8K already on towards Olaf. You've got the AWP coming out on JW, so this is the buy-up from NiP. Let's see what they can kind of muster together, because they didn't get that much money through the first couple of rounds. And of course, Fnatic did get a lot of plants. They're pretty comfortable at this point. 3 clean rounds back-to-back. NiP now needs to stop it.
And the question is whether they'll be able to. I mean, decent nades. Again, smoke at the top of car, so not fully committing to the B sort of play. Rather taking over banana, they're not going to fully commit to that. Instead, NiP are just going to try and go for halvesies, basically. And Fnatic don't really seem to be interested in challenging for now. They're just taking over control. This is where you can start to see that systematic take on the T side, where they just start clearing out each quadrant of the map. And so, you know, if they got into mid, saw no aggressive push from NiP. Okay, move into apartments. Great, we've got that now. Now we can start maybe focusing on our signature move, which is to flash through the smoke at top mid, start pressuring
looks like
short
the
and
lineup as well. The 4 players top mid, flash by flusher. This could be exactly what you highlight.
And they're so good at it. They just go blasting through, and if anybody's waiting for them, doesn't matter if it's a crossfire. Fnatic are so confident with that play, they usually just rip the defense into shreds. So they don't find anything this time. I mean, NiP are doing a fantastic job of just, you know, forcing Fnatic to run down this clock.
And the thing is, though, Forest didn't spot out JW crossing here, so he's going to get a little bit of breathing room to work with through the apartments, get the peeks out, see where people are and where they're not. Exist playing pretty passive down by the side, just going to watch the push through, and there you go. Flusher cracks it open. That's a good beginning for Fnatic here. Not going to find the follow-up either. NiP is starting to flounder, and there goes Get Right. He was the last defender tucked in on the A side. Now Pitt and Freiburg are pretty much locked out of this round, and again, Fnatic dominant, just taking fights so they know they're going to win, and that's what it came down to in that round. They took the mid control straight up. They got control over CT Arch, they got control over Quad, and as soon as they tried to hit the site, they nail the shots.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where also Exist, you know, he gets caught instead of just like sitting on the site. You know, he starts getting cold feet basically. Do I rotate back to library? Do I start looking at Arch? Maybe they're going to wrap through B. You know, all these questions start getting into his head, and he just walks right into their crosshairs. So that's all Fnatic are waiting for at that point. Once they have all that map control, they're like, okay, you know, we still have time on the clock. Let's wait and see if NiP make a mistake. And yeah, sure enough, NiP, they weren't quite able to pull it off that time. That soft quad, they were missing it a little bit.
They do need to keep these guns as well.
Yeah, and they do actually succeed in that. So we should have a buy coming out here from NiP. I mean, they can at least drop 2 FAMASs, get some. I mean, that's if they really want to go for it. You know, Inferno, it's like what we saw earlier today, though. It's like you do not want to let Fnatic get up to, 5-6 rounds right off the bat. You're pretty much tombed if you do. But it looks like NiP, they're willing to take the risk. They're going to try and play off of these 2 M4s and just have a really strong buy in the 6th round.
So who's keeping them? It's Freiburg and Pitt. Pitt's going to be stacking over with Freiburg towards A, actually. So I guess 4 players. You can assume that for now, as Pitt is here. All over. Exist has very little to work with, just a P250. So I guess that's a little dangerous. But again, let's see where Fnatic take this. This could work out well for NiP if they're in the right place at the right time. That's as simple as it is at this point. They have to kind of guess it out. Just make the best choice that they can at this point, and it all does come down to a guessing game. And so far, Fnatic showing, okay, maybe we're considering B, but no commitment yet.
And now it's a bit of a guessing game for NiP. Do they stand strong over on that A site, really play off of that? Fnatic are doing such a fantastic job now. They're just systematically clearing out bananas each step of the way to get closer to that site. Now the smoke goes down into CT, and they're just waiting to see who is going to greet them, who is waiting here. They know there's a P250 on this side, so that also might be influencing Fnatic. You know, it could be a gamble like the P250 shoots to bait you into the rifle, but Fnatic are also thinking, well, you know, even if only one guy has a rifle, there's only one guy with a P250. Like, we should still have, like, you know, fire superiority here, so it is going to be the rotation and the spray, and they know where the rifle is now. Now it's up to Exist to just do the best that he can, but he steps out too far, gets punished by Cribs. Get Right, going for the Existence Flash. Not going to make it work, though, and they just get slammed back, NiP.
Yeah. The smoke's up. This looks like Fnatic are in real dominance mode at the moment. Forest and Pitt going to try and make it at least somewhat costly and do some damage. There's a couple of rifles now up for grabs. Maybe they could have savored another, but not going to be the case. Pitt turns a flash, but maybe doesn't expect JW to go for the instant challenge, and he does. Of course he does. He's the one who takes that fight, and he wins it. So now Fnatic sitting on 5-0, a very nice start for them, a good start on this T side. And, you know, people say that, okay, well, you know, normally the AWP doesn't work so well on the T side of Inferno specifically. Well, JW's doing pretty well with it so far.
Yeah, JW, wow. Yeah, he's like we were saying earlier as well. I mean, JW is just, you need one of those specialists, like a specialist offer who can handle it well. Fallen, JW, like they really come to mind when you think about offers on Inferno, who can just wreck you. Guardian as well. So, I mean, I like that as well. That's a variation on the banana nade, basically, in case they're trying to wait out anti-rush nades that would be coming, you know, halfway or towards the top of banana. If you throw those nades, boom, like, catches them right in the face if they're waiting at bottom banana like that. Super sick. You always got to change it up a little bit. You know, keep the terrorists guessing. So, little tip for you guys there in matchmaking if you really want to piss some people off. Learn how to throw that nade, and it's going to ruin a lot of people's days.
Isn't that just the entire point of matchmaking, to ruin people's days?
That's the entire point of watching these streams, is to then go and like take some cool flashes and nades and, you know, just wreck people on matchmaking with it.
JW going to be fended up there. And I think there's... Oh my word, he still hits Forest. What the hell is that? All right. Fends Forest off, so he's now down a little lower. Now, I don't know how much JW can read into that. Like, how much did I actually do to him? I know it's going to be a decent amount, but how much can it be? And again, this is the Fnatic going for the flash up mid. However, GetRight's going to be actually holding the angle. The smoke's not perfect towards Quad either. Going to give GetRight a chance, but it's only a 1-for-1 trade out. Information, however, gathered. Forest still making the most of it. He's still fighting on such minimal HP. Right down to the 3v3. Timing comes into the matter. Exist will catch Flusher in the heels, and that's the bomb now down.
Yeah, 30 seconds left here for Crims to make the play. And you already have Freiburg watching the angle as well. He walks right into it. There's the info. Faces 3 people. Not a chance. And NiP, they're on the board. Turns out that the gamble that they took in the last round, only sticking to pistols, not going for the force buy, pays off. And they actually managed to pick up, well, not only the round, but have 3 people alive as well. So it'll be another strong buy going into it. They would have been in really deep trouble, actually, if NiP had only won, you know, like it had been like this 1v1 clutch situation, because then they're broke. They go for a force buy basically with FAMASs and everything, and they're going up against a fully bought out Fnatic. Now this is an even round. Look at this. Everybody has utility. Everybody has what they need. So this is it. This is their moment to really shut down the Fnatic pain train.
This could be absolutely sick for NiP. And I don't know if that was Fnatic's missed smoke towards Quad then that allowed GetRight to trade out, but him being present here and Forest even making the most of it on such minimal HP really helped NiP in that one. So great stuff from them, but now it's Fnatic with everything they need as well against NiP with everything they need. So one of the perfect rounds that we need to look at very closely here is how do Fnatic look to break this? Do they go straight in again on these aggressive plays to try and take that mid control, or do they slow it down? It looks like they're actually taking a bit of a slower, more methodical approach, leaving that bomb down by second mid, just giving it a couple of seconds now. Flush can always pick that one up on the swing around from B, but good rotation timing from Pit as well. Being present on A at the right time is actually going to help out in this if Fnatic go for this hit. And again, they are looking for the information, looking for the frags, but it's GetRight again joined by Forest, and the trades are coming in favorably towards NiP so far. Bit of a grinder down mid at the moment, and there we go. Forest takes the fight, gets the double. That is big. Olaf and Dennis fall to his hand, leaving just Flusher standing. And NiP, again, reading these rounds very well now.
Flusher, he's got the AK and he's got an AWP. Only problem is, you know, Forest has got the angle. He picked up that AWP from Dennis's corpse, and now we're really starting to talk about NiP rolling here. Sick defense from Forest. I mean, that's the power play. That's where you're just showing, okay, time to play bravely, time to just get in their face and take control of the situation. Big spray onto the first man on Boiler, then the transfer onto the second. Like, that's the kind of dominant play that's just going to really rock Fnatic, rock that confidence that they've been developing so far. Problem is that Fnatic, their money was so good that they probably aren't even going to really go for an eco at any point in time here. They're, you know, even if they lose this round, if they get a bomb plant, they're forcing, and then they're just going to keep on forcing. So it's not going to get any easier here for NiP. They have 8 long rounds ahead of them here.
And it is going to be a kind of slogging match between these two, just blow for blow at this point. Now, I'm wondering how NiP intend to be able to get the information to cheat, maybe pit over towards the A side of things if that comes through, because so far they're playing not necessarily passive on site. You've got Forest pushed up pretty close towards Quad, but no one taking apps control. Normally GetRight does actually enjoy doing that a hell of a lot. They've normally had to send people like Olaf there just to hunt him out during the games, during a Kalavita, but not this time. And there we go, Pitt finds Olaf. That's a brilliant start there. Again, Pitt going to be making the most of that. I don't know how he even found it in the end, just maybe catching a glimpse.
There's just a small gap. It was an imperfect smoke.
There we go, again, making good use of that, but it looks like the A hit's about to come in.
Yeah, well, now Fnatic are feeling like they got to pull the trigger. They just got to get out there. Brilliant opening kill there. Exists just, you know, stepping out once again, getting caught out in the open again. And that's going to open everything up for Fnatic now. There's a 4-on-4. They can wait for the rotators to come out. 40 seconds left, and they could even decide to back off and play B if they wanted to. That's what Flush is actually fishing for right now. He's like, okay, we've made we've made you think that we want to go to A. Are you going to push down Banana aggressively behind us? We get that kill. We just rotate hard onto B. But it isn't really panning out for him.
One benefit being Freiburg still has a molly, so if he wants to just buy that last couple, you know, little bit of time, just put it down whenever you want. Put it down in those last couple of seconds, or at least burn them up if they do make that hit in the last couple of seconds. Here comes a pinch. Freiburg has to buy the time. 15 seconds. Molly comes out. He needs to find the bomb and find it fast. Dennis and Crims from the back. Flusher and JW cross inside. That, I believe, is the bomb down. 9 seconds. JW can make a mad dash towards it. 6 seconds. I thought he might have just got the plant. JW in the last second just hits the jump at the right time. Now into a 2v2.
He has such unreal movement. Like, that you missed that jump, that's it, it's over. But he's so good, JW. Get right now, it's him versus Crims. And he's just going to walk right into Crims waiting crosshairs, and now it's all on Forrest, and he decides, nope, not going to do it, boys, not going to do it. We don't really have that huge economy rolling yet for ourselves. This AWP is going to be so crucial going forward. It can make it the difference in the next round to come. We just have to give it up here.
And that round came down to a second difference.
Freiberg, he nearly did it, but then it just happened to be JW. JW, he just like barely picks up the bomb, like literally just gets close enough to pick up the bomb, and then just hits the jump, gets that bomb plant down. I mean, that is a high pressure situation right there. Freiberg, he nearly won the round for NiP with 1 kill.
That could have been it. The difference a second can make in this is terrifying, but that's what can win you rounds, and it can cost you games as well. You look at the diffusers coming out, you look at the situations that NiP had to face previously against Fnatic on this map, and they're going to gain a couple of flashbacks going, guys, that's a second difference. Are you serious right now? But anyway, let's look at what they have this time. NiP have a little bit of money, but they've saved themselves up. They're going to go for the P250s, just keep the AWP on Forest. And again, they like to stack out this A side, leaving Freiberg pretty much purely solo on B at the moment.
Yeah, this is usually how Freiberg rolls, right? So he should be confident. It's like, this is my domain. I do not die randomly. I get headshots. I channel my spirit guide, Juan Dieg. And Freiberg, you know, he might just be able to pull this off. You ever read that manga, Shaman King? It's pretty sick.
No.
Ooh, there we go, Freiberg. There we go.
Did.
Juan Dieg, he's showing up. The spirit is strong in Freiberg right now. He just needs to survive.
All right, Freiberg. Let's see what you got, buddy. You got the Deagle. You got a hope and a dream and 5 HP. So, they're going to go for a cheeky little boost above the smoke. That's a little naughty. Okay. Doesn't go too well, but I like the idea of it. And again, it's Crims on the cleanup. Going to be just keeping these rounds in check. Got a sneaky little position from Forrest, but still being watched by, I believe, Flasher in the back of it. And Forrest still like, I don't want to give up this ult, but I feel I'm in a really bad place to keep it. And JW can hear the heartbeat of Forrest as now Get Right, the last man alive. Ideally can deny a couple of weapons into the next round, save one for himself at absolute best, or just slowly glide up the wall.
Did you just call JW a vampire?
Not necessarily. Maybe I did. Maybe I implied something. I'm not sure what it was, but maybe.
Smells it. All right. Easily done, and now this is where Fnatic really started to take off, it seems. They will have the money to buy here at NiP. There's only one of them who's going to have to kind of, you know, skimp a little bit. Maybe Famas Kevlar, that's going to be on Exist. But the rest of Fnatic, I mean, obviously fully loaded. They got everything that they need. Really surprised, actually, to see NiP prioritizing helmets here. You know, that's 2 flashes for Forrest if he skimps on the helmet. For Exist as well, that's an extra flash or an HE or a kit. Yeah, definitely a little money management here on NiP is just a little questionable if you want to talk about min-maxing.
The kit comes into being even a small leave the chicken alone factor. That's going to be frustrating, as you said. You know, it's these small things that can actually add up down the end of the line. But you can see the money on Fnatic is still pretty robust. They're pretty well set at the moment. No, maybe not the best, but they're certainly building pretty well. You got 5.7 on JW, so well enough set into the next couple of rounds to be relatively comfortable. But 7-2, NiP need this round quite badly, and this 3-2 split. Freiberg buying the time well here. Bomb is not at B, so it's not a full commitment from Fnatic, but enough that if they get the site, there's a quick jump off coming in from the likes of Dennis with the bomb. So still a lot on the plate here for Fnatic to deal with.
Yeah, and they did a good job now. They've baited out the smoke so early on here. Freiberg doesn't really have anything left apart from that incendiary. But it's not quite the same as a smoke, so Fnatic, they could decide to rotate that bomb back over here towards this B site and just go crashing in. And it looks like JW's thinking about it. Dennis, he's still waiting. Are they really going to focus on A at this point, considering the banana control that they have?
Oh, they're doing it so well, though. 3 players pulled towards B, where the 3 of Fnatic are hitting A. It's such a good switch and bait. It's a bit dangerous because Forrest is here waiting ever so patiently, trades it out, sees the bomb. Now they know what's coming their way. But Flusher's on the pull behind. Pit's going to spot him out, but it doesn't matter. Fnatic hit the shots.
Go back to
but
Chris.
Oh my word, on the site. Get Right almost had something, but
Freiberg just had a heart attack.
Yep.
Like, literally just had a heart attack. He had no idea that Chris was waiting in pool like that on B.
Ah, man.
See, this is where Crims has mercy, right? Because I'm sure Freiberg might have jumped over him. Crims totally could have gone for the knife.
He's
But
a
no.
merciful god.
He goes for the rifles. Yeah, he just goes for the shots.
All right, Forest.
It would have been, you know, simply rude.
Yes. Zeus. Guess you got to try and pull something out of the hat at this point. You're down pretty heftily. Do a few rounds in between. And Fnatic just looking like they're going from strength to strength. Forest.
That's the last time I shake Forrest's hand at the land when I see him. Using a Zeus. Forrest, for shame.
How dare you.
What is this, NA?
Fnatic. It's like NiP stack kind of like quad side or, you know, short and kind of like screw that. We're going long. We can sense it already. One tap's coming out. Exist is doing really nicely on the pistol at the moment. It's actually done an insane amount of damage, but it's down to the others to try and make something of it.
And now Forrest, he's just not going to be able to use the Zeus. Nice shot on the Dennis, though. That was sick aim. See, that's why you don't need the Zeus, Forrest. Just use the pistol. Why do you debase yourself in such a way? I don't understand, Pansy, but I'm sure there's a reason.
Maybe method to his madness somewhere down the line. Not going to be seen this round, but Freiburg now.
You know, clearly aim locking on the flusher through the wall there.
That's it. It's the counter aimbot that they have to bring out. Didn't work too well.
Unfortunately, it's the low quality version.
Yeah, he didn't play for premium, so Flusher gets the first shot off. Nice try, Freiburg. Nice try. 2-9. Come on, NiP. Like, I want to see a little more, because the T-side is what I really like, but it only comes out on a full buy. And it's like, will they even get that far at this point? Like, with this many rounds, they need more on the board. Really do.
Oh, yes. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's, I mean, Fnatic right now, they're skipping. They're just having a great time. This is NiP, who are just floundering, trying desperately to find something to hold on to right now. And Fnatic, you know, they just refuse to throw. They, you know, there's that orange and white circle that you can throw to people who fall overboard, the life support thing. What's it called? It's not a life vest.
Is it a life raft? I'm Googling it.
You're Googling it? All right, thanks, Pansy. No. So, you know, so that I can finish my analogy, Pansy's on top of it. But Palm is going to get picked up here by JW. And so far, at least, the trades have been going NiP's way. But this is where Fnatic can start, you know, kind of grouping up together as a pair and working their way towards that B site.
I have no idea what it was.
That's fine. I'll check in the group. I'll check afterwards. Okay. So.
Right.
Nobody from NiP should be peeking right now.
Don't do it, Exist. Please don't do it, Exist.
Exist. Exist is just like, you know what, guys? I'm just going to go ahead and... this is one of those...
It's such a gamble.
It's one of those situations where, you know, if it works, it's brilliant.
He's a genius.
If it doesn't work, Exist is actually literally trying to throw the game.
Bot Exist would be put in chat if he got picked up here. But actually, it's worked out pretty favorably for him. He will be able to kind of herd them in, but it's still Flusher, and Flusher is still very much alive. Bomb's going to go down, and no one's going to go for the quick fight towards it. And that's a full plant. Now Flusher has the 1v2 work in his favor. Pit doesn't care and picks up the kill. There we go. Exist completely irrelevant to the round in the end, but it did allow the quick stack over towards B, at least the quick rotate, should I say.
Yeah, they were in position with that AWP fairly quickly there. Even if Forrest... Whoa. Oh, it's like Exist just saying, I need my AK. He gets an AK, so it's cool. Or was he just looking for nades? Whatever. Maybe he sneezed. Maybe that's what happened.
Could be.
Yeah.
Next level analysis.
Oh, totally, dude.
Predicting the sneezing.
You watch these players so much at the end with like the mouse movements, you know, it's like that? What? How do you explain that? I haven't seen him, you know, do that before. He must be a sneeze. He's lost motor control.
And we're seeing a double AWP on T-side Inferno.
Yeah, this is Fnatic again. Just, you know, they're like, hey.
Just Fnatic things.
And I like that. You know, Flush is like, we'll stop throwing rounds. But I guess when you get 9 rounds on T-side Inferno, you're like, all right, let's have some fun now, boys. Work's done.
It's playtime. And sadly for NiP, they are the play thing. Pit, though, trying to show a little bit of fight over on this B side. Did very well last round. Going to be flashed in here, and Flusher gives away the game. Going to actually be picked up on and going to back away. Gets a little bit of damage from the molly, but nothing too much. And I'd be happy with that. Until then.
Until then, exactly. And Exist, he's going to do his damnedest to hold this off. He's got that short position up on quad. He's going to get shot in the back, though. Dennis does not let him go, and he was just doomed. Olafmeister was coming off a balcony at the same time, and just like that, they had their feel-good moment in the last round. This round, however, it's the Fnatic show. It's the off show. I mean...
I'll never doubt the double AWP T-side Inferno setup again. It's clearly the next big thing. And Dennis could be the third AWPer. I'm ready for this.
Oh, they could have, like, they could have quad offs, yeah.
And they'd probably still win rounds, which is the terrifying part. But retake time now coming in. They're going for it. They've still got a kill on Freiburg, but That's only going to go so well when you've still got players like Olaf standing, and look at that, man. What a beast. Just coming alive whenever he wants to, and it's 3 kills for him casually with the AWP. And he had a quiet game prior to that, but there's still just that little switch that Olaf seems to be able to just like reach when he needs to. He's like, well, there we go.
It's the rhythm, right? He just kind of channels like the energy of the galaxy, of the CS gods. It just flows through him, and he just wrecks noobs. I mean, that's when he gets into that game mode. When he gets into that game mode, it's just it's terrifying to watch because he will just take over a map. He took over that round. Pretty nicely done.
Yep.
Get Right, unfortunately, was not able to slay the god up in apartments. That's basically where it went wrong. He had the max 7 perfect position as Olaf Meister comes around. He just misses the shot, and then Olaf, proceeds to just, Shrek his team.
Oh, and NiP are trying to read this so well. This is normally the Fnatic mid push. It's normally Flusher who flashes them through, but look at Forest just walking down. He's taking a walk through Inferno, and that only goes so well. They do get a couple of kills, actually, with these CZs. Pretty nice work, but oh, God. Those nades and mollies. Get right, get running already. Pit's going to be holding the angle so dearly at this point, but I just hit the brakes. Okay, we've got 3 players still standing. We've got a couple of mollies, a smoke, a flash or 2. Let's just, start getting these kills. And timing is definitely be questioned here. Olaf, will he check? Now he will. And now he hits that shot. Of course he does. And now looking for more. I don't know if he realizes you can actually scope with that weapon. He's going to be reminded now as Pit takes his skull, and now Crim's left into a 1v2. Pit has got the ult. Freiburg still only on the pistol, but he can't really do much at the moment. He's kind of stuck here with 30 seconds left. Like, well, I kind of have to hold this, so good luck, Pit.
Crims is not a bad man to have as the last man alive for you, though, in a 1v2 situation. He's got crazy clutch strats. You can just count on him, he's a rock. 20 seconds left here, and now he's got a bit of a decision to make, but it does seem like he wants to stick to that A site. And he's oh, what a shot! Are you kidding? How does he hit that shot? It should be impossible. Pith is going to be kicking himself, and then Crims, this is it. He's got that spray, big spray, backs off, now to the clock. He's looking for the headshot. He actually goes jump burst! Crims! Get wrecked! What? I don't even know, Pansy.
What a sick player. You know what you highlight? He is the player you want in those clutches. He's so calm. He's so cool. This shot. Let's just watch this again.
Boom!
2 bullets.
Oh, man. But then he went through like the whole gamut, right? So he went for the tap, didn't work. Then the spray on short, didn't work. Jump burst, didn't work. And then just jump shot works. It's like Chris is just like, actually, I'm just going to go through the full gamut right now. I'm just toying with you, Freiburg. I can't even believe it.
Absolutely.
And that's gonna completely shatter NiP pretty much.
This is when frustration kicks in. This has got to be when you're just like, guys, we had a sick first map. This one didn't quite happen our way. Now, they put up a good fight in a couple of rounds, but again, Freiburg bulldozering down Banana is not going to really equate to much. I guess taking down JW something, but you've got 4 other players just as capable, if not more at this point, still standing as the slow march down highway begins, or speedway, I guess, begins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you're wondering why they're walking, if you're at top Banana, you can hear the walk-ons on speedway. So it's slow rotate, but NiP are really trying to manage the noise right now. Flusher with the hop on top is going to spot Get Right, and that's just enough. But this is actually NiP laying a trap right now, up close with the 5-7. I believe Forrest is there with the CZ75. This could turn into a bit of a nasty crossfire if Fnatic try and force this, but they're wisely waiting out the smoke. No reason for them to take a risk. They can just take their time, wait for the smoke to clear, and then press forward as a group.
Waiting to see if there'll be someone peering through that smoke. It's Pit holding a somewhat unorthodox angle, maybe a little bit common in, lower tier games, because it's kind of like a one and done if no one checks. What exists through the smoke?
He nearly had that one too.
That was a second. That was a second away from hitting, and he's going to go for the mad shot on this. Gets the tag on Olaf, and now it's a 1v2. He can single out these 2 players, though. He's got that molly to put down. He buys himself enough time to reposition, and now looks for the first pickup. No one's going to instantly challenge. They want to wait on both players to maybe make that peak together.
If Happy's watching right now, he was like, yes, that was nice. It wasn't an ace, but it was a good try. I mean, existed right now, just trying to channel it, and it's going to be Forrest with the last kill. Olaf couldn't quite get that angle right. He will get caught out in the open by Forrest with good timing there from Forrest. So, and a successful retake in the end. A nice shot with the deke through the smoke, holding off that B push. And the crossfire ends up working. And I mean, NiP actually managed to set up the proper defense. But yeah, we're going to get a little bit of a replay here Just lines it up. Boom. Sick 2 kills coming in from Exist.
That was absolutely beautiful. But all right, 11-4 in the half. Now I'm a big fan of NiP on their T side here. At least from Katowice. That was when I started to think, all right, now we started to see something from them. Now we're starting to see a little bit more than Forest just spinning round. What a beautiful ballerina you are, Forest. But yeah, it's
light like a forest creature. You know,
a little pixie just like
exactly.
flying through. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh wow, Rush.
Reason why he's named Forest, you know.
That's true. It makes sense.
Oh, we're getting the replay. Look at this. It's just like mad spray. Comes back with the Glock. There's the burst. And there's the jump. Like, jeez, Crims. He was just toying with him.
It's absolutely insane. All right, NiP. It's tea time. They've got to turn up here. Fnatic.
But they aren't British, Pansy.
No, I know. I wish. Let's not even bring British people up into CS. It doesn't go very well, does it?
British who?
Exactly. Any British players in CS:GO. It's just like, oh, one day.
There was this guy, you know, Rattlesnake, but then
Sam.
the rest of the CS world had a new pair of boots. You know, they really felt pretty good about that.
The amount of puns you could come up with if he ever came back could be magical, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Rattlesnake actually playing. I don't know if he's in a team at the moment actually. So I know they kind of reform every now and then. It's always like, who comes back? It's like either Weber, Release.
I think it was Easy Skins for a while there.
Yeah,
like Easy Skins,
they tried it out.
It all kind of fell apart. I think that was like the last gasp.
Pretty much. It's over now. Now we just have Henry as a caster.
Basically.
That's pretty much it. That's all we have.
I mean, if Henry, who tried to make it happen right, he did everything he
tried.
could. If he's just like,
guys.
I can't do it anymore, guys. I give up. Like, I give up. Just like, all right, man. You were like the last hope, you know, trying to make it happen for UKCS, but
it's over.
It's all over. But hey, guess what? You know, there's still events happening in London, in the UK.
That's very true. That's very true.
So the players, you know, they can still go to events technically.
Oh, that's a wonderful thought. I'm just getting flashbacks to, I think it was like was it Angel Dust? Just consistently beating Rattlesnake on Inferno. It was like every time he peeked him on Banana. There's this wonderful video on YouTube, if you want to try and find it, of Rattlesnake completely losing his mind over Angel Dust, just smashing him every single round through smoke. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. If you want to see someone mad, go and check it out. But anyway, we are into the second half now. We have Raid Boss Get Right coming out with the Tech 9. Utility on Freiburg, and Fnatic going full in towards apartments. Last time NiP tried this, they got sent packing on about 4 HP.
Yeah, on both of them as well. They both got dinked. This time around, actually, whoa, Crims. He just launches himself out there, and he's on the fast flank through T apartments right now. They could get around. I mean, Olafmeister could have a quick rotate through as well to mid, so if NiP really try and commit to this B take, it could get hairy for him. They could get caught in a vice. Crims, he just keeps pressing forward. He's not hearing any steps. He realizes nobody around here. And there's nobody in mid, nobody in second mid. So this has got to be a clear indicator here for Fnatic that the action's going to be on B.
NiP are going against the odds in this one, and Get Right softening them up but not taking them down. Finally, he managed to get a kill, but there's still one man on the site, and that's Dennis, the pistol master at the moment. Now the USPS lined up ready and waiting, gets the damage done, but doesn't get another kill from it. It's 4v2. And, well, NiP give away the entire game. The great foresight coming out from Crims to push down in towards TF, but didn't find much else from it. As there we go, NiP just bully their way straight in towards B. Bomb plant down, 4 alive, and Tech9 recovered.
Yeah, the raid boss strat working out perfectly there. I mean, Get Right. I mean, that's the power of that pistol, is like not only with the Glock, but then with the Tech 9, you're just so quick and so lethal. You just run all over the place looking for those shots. That actually panned out pretty differently from what I was expecting. Also, them wrapping through CT through construction like that, it's just like, okay. All right, NiP, not what we expected one bit. Not at all.
But one thing you can expect is that Fnatic will always pretty much buy up who it sees. Again, look at this. What was that drive-by from Olafmeister? Just barrels out like, John, Get Right, I'm really proud of you for doing well first half, but you know what? I'm not going to let it happen again. So now into a 3v4, but NiP are going to be reminded, like, you've got to be careful on these rounds, guys. We have these CZs, we have armor. They still have a 5/7 and a Deagle as well, so this could still be pretty deadly.
Yeah, Wolfmeister might just be a little bit frustrated that his teammates had to go and get themselves killed. I mean, JW, we kind of expect that. Fnatic are used to playing, you know, 4vx when JW just goes for a peek and dies. But Flesha, a little uncommon for him to get picked off like that. So Dennis hoping to get something done with the Deeg, but it's not meant to be. We already know that, you know, Juan Deeg, he's Freiburg and exists, buddy. And there's Olaf, again with the peek into mid, not going to be able to connect for the kill. Exist survives on 12 HP, and right now, I mean, NiP, they're doing a fantastic job of just whittling the defense down.
Yeah, they're not allowing Crims or Dennis to get a chance at this. They've still got them split up. Bit, I'm not sure on the timing of this. I guess he's just trying to watch the back, but he's not going to fool anyone into surely coming back around here. He's trying it. Crims doesn't care, though. Crims is still at CTR, like, I've just made my way here. I'm just going to live it out. Now Dennis, all right. Eaglemeister, not going to happen. Dennis goes down. That's fine, Freiburg, but Crims down a 1v3. I think this might be a bit of a stretch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Bomb is going to get planted with any luck. He can catch up Pyth, but that's only an MP7 that he'd be picking up, so it's not ideal. Yeah, easy kill here. Still the 180 attempt there from Pyth. Quick reactions on him. And let's see. I mean, we got that HE, dunks it onto the side. Unfortunately, not going to catch anybody out, and it's Exist with 12 HP. If only Crims could find Exist. But
that
Forrest
would be
is
the
one
dream.
playing Graveyard, and Forrest, boom, reacts in time. Longest spray of his life, and doesn't get the kill. And now it's Exist. They don't have a kit, do they? No.
Exist, please don't let this happen.
It's impossible.
Don't let this happen. Exist 5 seconds. He has to peek this. There's no way. Okay. Okay, sweat off the brow. I get a little worried when I see that. Especially after the way the last couple of rounds, at least the last couple of matches they've met together on this map have gone. But, okay. Close. Good financial damage towards NiP there. But again, Fnatic not going to get much more out of this round either. You know, they're going to be on the clean purchases here, just the P250 there with Crims, and that's about all you're going to get. There's not much else to be had. A bit of a stack towards A to boot. So the two SMGs, Get Right and Freiburg, can probably be at the forefront of this, or at least should be. Regards trying to pick up these kills, and information, a quick little swing out there from, I think, JW going to back away. And there we go.
This time he backs away.
And now he does. After I was like, guys, can you just not?
Yeah, they just decide to stack off of that info, it seems. But NiP, like, so far, you know, that last round was a little bit iffy, right? But the round before it, you know, they stuck together. They really kept that group going to deal with the anti-eco. I mean, this round they're doing the same thing, right? You know, stacking all up at the beginning, at least, right before you get into the afterplant. They're stacking all up. They're going to move together as a unit. It's the same thing that we saw in Cash from them when they got into the T side. They did a very good job of making sure that they took advantage of their utility to just eliminate the Fnatic members one after another. And so we just need to see that systematic approach. And that's, you know, again, this is probably Threat having a little bit of an influence on the team, saying, okay, guys, this is how we're going to play it. And you know what? You're going to listen. And I'm standing right behind you with, you know, this bat that I'm just going to keep smacking you upside the head with. You know, Scoots has his no peek bat.
Yep.
You know, Threat, he's just got his every reason bat with NiP.
Yep.
Like, whenever I feel like it, you're going to get smacked.
I think they're learning. You know, a bit of tough love, maybe working out with NiP. Maybe that's what they've been missing. I know that there's always been those questions asked of, do they take the coaches seriously in this one? And Dennis and Flusham make it a little bit costly. And I wonder if they can find the other AK. I don't know if there was another AK. I can't count. I think there was only 2 SMGs up, so they might have lost a rifle in that one. So another, you know, Fnatic do make it costly for them, but it's still not the perfect purchase either for Fnatic at this point. They're still a little lighter than maybe they'd like. No AWP to be seen at this point, and nothing of those lines. And Freiburg on the SMG still. There's not that much head armor, actually, I guess, so maybe not the worst thing in the world.
No, and if he can trade up for a rifle at some point, it wouldn't be too bad. That or he leads the charge.
Yep.
Just sacks himself in on some part of the map. I mean, he is playing solo Banana again. Feels like a long time since we've really seen him just, you know, take over Banana on his own without, like, Exist there to have his back. And that's perfectly done. JW just, you know, trying to nose around and Boiler gets caught. Trade of nades, and they are going to be able to get out of this with the man advantage here on NiP. Unfortunately for Freiburg, that rifle wasn't dropped in anywhere that he can, like, run over and pick up easily. So he still has to stay on that MP7.
Bit of a shame for him, I guess, at this point. And again, JW getting caught out in situations that you maybe shouldn't be, maybe a little unlucky. You know, call it what you will. JW gets caught out again. It's something that happened in the pistol. It's something that's happened now. You know, when it works and when he gets these nutty kills, everyone, you know, praises him. But if he gets caught out, it's kind of frustrating, I can imagine. At this point for Fnatic, they're going to play with a deficit into what is going to be a very important round here. Let's get right in a bit of a jump-off position, as it looks like we might be seeing the double smokes coming out from Pit and Exist. Normally they did like to put those down towards a truck at it was Katowice, but no, look at Olaf. Goes in on the challenge. He's just dismantled it single-handedly. He has just thrown a spanner into the works. He gets traded out eventually by Get Right, holding well into towards what was the balcony, but now the bomb goes down. And NiP trying to play this like well-constructed round, this beautiful bit of execution. And Olaf doesn't like it at all.
This is where that individual play can just have the big impact. And now they can even just back off, play off of each other. Dennis, I believe that's Crims, he was kind of caught in new corner there. Get right, he actually has the bomb, so he's going to be able to get a plant. One of Fnatic's old favorite spots, actually, over there on short. But now it comes down to whether he gets lucky with the peak. And unfortunately for him, both of them are going to be coming pretty much from the same angle here.
But will they expect this? He's gone around the world pretty well, and no one's looking towards this just yet. They're both by the side. Dennis is in a bit of an awkward spot, and I don't think he's going to see him, so Dennis now has to be the one to... Oh, get right! What an adjustment! 2 kills, perfect play. Get right, you absolute animal.
Whoa. And we just saw Get Right do something. He shot that body. All right. We're getting the replay here. But Get Right used to get actually like legit annoyed with people, like pissed at people that would do that, right? That was one of the ways you can kind of like mess with his head is if you shot the body shot his body repeatedly after killing him. So Get Right to run up and actually go full tilt and just start spraying.
Crims did it before when he picked up that insane 1v2. It's a little bit of like a,
well,
you know
there we go. Okay.
I'm still here.
All right. Get Right, the beast unleashed. I mean, he is doing pretty good. 14 frags right now. Not leading the charge that's who's actually taking point, tied with Forest, who's been basically pretty consistent across both maps so far. But this is going to reset Fnatic's economy, so it's a fantastic opportunity here for NiP to close the gap. And NiP, continue to just sit back and play very solid anti-ecos. Wait and see if Fnatic want to go aggressive. Sure, let them. We've got the crossfires established. They'll walk right into the blender and everything will be groovy. And we'll get a good protein shake too, But as far as Fnatic are concerned, they aren't overextending, so I do like this from them as well. They know that they can be lethal with these pistols.
Yeah, and I think they've been worked out they will be punished for that little bit of an overextension. Sometimes Fnatic do it and they get away with it really well, and it's like, that's some of their crazy rounds, but actually having to hit the brakes a touch on this one. Play a little bit more calm. I think we're going to see the deep smoke coming in towards CT Arch. There it is, just popping there. That was, I think, from Pit coming out. So it's going to give them a little bit of control in the way that they can peek towards quad. They can clear these corners. A very common spot, though, here from Dennis. I'd quite like a flash to maybe complement that, maybe further back, but he's the only one here on A, so he's going to have to deal with everything NiP's about to go for. So a little bit tough, and Fnatic just gambling. It's what you have to do sometimes in these rounds, and now he's going to be turning the flash. Gets the perfect lineup, gets down to Dennis, goes man mode with the CZ. And NiP feeling a little bit, I guess, bashful after that exchange, leaving actually Fnatic with the advantage, but these guns now have Get Right guarding them.
And it plays out pretty much according to plan. Just holding the angles. No reason to be, YOLOing out there. Crims hits a sick Deagle headshot. That's definitely not part of the plan. And he's looking for more as well. Now they've succeeded in making this a very expensive round for NiP. NiP desperately wanted to keep 3 alive. But that's CZ, man. That's CZ. It really does actually kind of like make you sick to your stomach when you see what CZ is capable of.
Yeah. And I guess to NiP's credit, they did try and flash it out. It's just that the pop flash isn't quick enough that he can turn it pretty comfortably. And as soon as you hear people starting to step, you can just turn it and go anti-flash almost, and you can see it coming through. There's the flash. Now, Pit was actually blind at that point, which is the shame in that one. He could have probably been the first point of contact, maybe go for. But it is a big dangerous threat at that point. You kind of have to be very cautious. But let's take stock of the scoreline here, because it's 11-9 now. And NiP's starting to show a little bit of bite to that bark of theirs until Olaf just takes the muzzle off NiP. My word, what a start.
What a sick flick. All right. A little flick of the wrist there by Olaf, and he gets him off to a strong start here, Fnatic. Key round as well. Because this is it. They've just invested everything. So if NiP win this round, Fnatic are going to be really light on nades going forward. And that's not ideal. Far from it. So Olaf decides to step up and start waking up when his team needs him to. Crims with the incendiary. It's actually Crims and Flusha. This is what happens when Olaf plays the op, is that Flusha comes over here and starts up that duo with Crims on the B site. They're still pretty good at it. It's not Olaf Crims level, but it's not far from it. And while it seems like NiP, their answer is actually, all right, follow that nade. That's a sick nade. Is that going to be an arch smoke? Or a library smoke, it looks like.
Yep, very deep library smoke.
All right, but the problem is that if a man is standing in library, like Olafmeister was, you see it coming from a mile away. So is it actually going to be a push or not?
Oh, they've worked out the plan now, and it's going to set them up so well. There's that crossfire coming in key. Flusha just mows down 3 players. As you said, maybe not quite Olaf, but certainly good enough to hold back NiP for now. And that was a very big invested round from Fnatic. It pays off well for them.
When I say like not Olaf, I mean it's just like in this like inherent team play that Olaf and Crim seem to have.
They have this lovely
right?
combination.
They're like linked, right? They're like twins. You know, twins. They know each other so well all their life, right? They can practically read each other's minds. It's like that's the level that Olaf and Crim's hit together. But Flusha, when it just comes to individual, like
Oh, he's sick.
He'll ruin your day pretty quick. But that's I mean it's a nice thought. It's a nice attempt there from NiP. Unfortunately, they just they weren't quite able to execute on it. If Flusha is able to get 3 kills, something definitely went wrong.
Yeah. And Olaf so present in mid. He's actually holding the peak this time, so actively looking for the challenge here. Gets some form of control. Now worries a little bit about second mid. Okay, could someone push me up? They could have. All right, let me smoke it off. So he's pretty safe for now. You know, just slightly further back angle. It does cut off Get Right from being able to see any information coming down mid. Hence the slight little bit of worry from Exist then. But again, it looks like another B hit's brewing here for NiP. The bomb's so close by in the hands of Forest. Got the tech lines with Exist and Pit. And now everyone's starting to come around towards B.
Oh, and the timing. Catches Forest setting up the nade. That's perfect. Incendiary goes down. No possible chance here for NiP to answer immediately. They have the second Incendiary as well. And NiP actually, I mean, they could be kind of happy with... Never mind. If they kept all 4 alive, they baited out a lot of utility. But at the same time, they're so low, they don't have a smoke left. So they kind of have to just go in here and take these fights. And they keep losing it. And Flusha, what was that spray transfer? The prediction, he catches Pitt straight in the face. Not going to get the full job done. Not going to get the quad. But that was so sick. All right, Olaf. I mean, I think you're stuck, Olaf. I think you're dead, Olaf. So 1v3 for Freiburg.
He's got an ace hit and there's JW behind him. So that was going to go about as well as you'd expect. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's nothing, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not complicated, but it's just, you know, it's not easy and it's just beautiful. I mean, boom, picks up the guy. He knows the Pith is there. He saw him shoulder peek, so he just drags down on the spray, lines it up.
He's such a world-class player in these sort of things. And just an issue, I guess, with NiP. They're not singling out that player. They're not able to get that angle under control in any way. Maybe not scared on holding it, but you don't want to be openly peeking. No, JW can see everything now. And now Dennis can just start knocking down. The nade's going to hurt. And NiP trying to buy into this round, trying to get those tech lines to do something. But no fair play from Fnatic, taking the fight straight up. And Olaf waiting patiently in the wings.
Yeah, this is where you reach that breaking point. NiP, you know, they felt like they might have had a chance, but it's been slipping out of their fingers, and it's just not going to get any easier from here on out after this force buy. I mean, this is a force, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, full-on force from them. Might have been a quasi, might have missed a detail there, but no. So it's going to be another force for them after this. Fnatic should treat it with equal disdain. I mean, Get Right really trying to battle back and take out JW. He's successful there. Olafmeister will not miss the shot. That's actually a little bit of a shame. If Olafmeister misses that shot, Get Right, he can get 2. Olafmeister wouldn't have the chance to reload, but it's not meant to be this time. It's not meant to be.
Now this is the issue, as you said. The money is in tatters for NiP. And again, they have to go for it. It's 14-9. Got the armor and
Quasi.
keeping him. Yeah, it's not a full investment, but
this is a quasi. This is them just saying, okay, you know, Kevlar pistol, flash.
We'll take this one.
Cross our fingers and hope.
Yeah. JW's timing's a little off, but he's going to spot out. Still hits the shot on Exist. He trades though on this. And the nade will come back through. Dennis being, even though far away, a lovely supporting feature towards what JW's been trying to achieve now. And they have managed to recover that AWP. So Forest now has that. So maybe there's a pick to be had at this point.
How does this work?
What is this?
This is a nade that's going to, or would have caught Get Right if Freiburg didn't have impeccable timing. Olafmeister with the impeccable aim is going to make up for that, but yeah, Freiburg forced his hand. I think Olafmeister wanted to just drop that right at the entrance where the smoke is in case somebody was waiting around there. Well, yeah, Forest and Pyth kind of have to cross their fingers and hope at this point. Forest is on his way there to back up Pyth. The flash through, and Olaf, doesn't matter if the flash wasn't effective. Pyth, he had the wrong gun in his hands, and then Olaf just charging forward. No fear at all. Quad kill.
15-9. Fnatic now on the verge of making up for the blemish on the record that was that prior map. And after what was actually a very good T-side up until a point for NiP, seems they can't quite cut it. Especially against the likes of Flush when they try and hit that B-side. It's just not been a nice time for them at all. So hopefully they can find something into this round. Again, Look at Fnatic's aggression. 3-stack towards B. They're pushing straight down here. And Olaf leading the charge. Goes in. It's Flusher to find the first, though. And that's a bloodbath and a half. But they trade out effectively, actually, for NiP. They now have an advantage here. Dennis has to cheat across. Maybe play somewhere in the middle. Not sure where to commit to now, as NiP have the man advantage.
It's 2 for 1 in Freiburg. He really does go through.
Why?
Why? Exactly. Freiburg. I thought... No. He decides to force it when there's no... I mean, now the smoke clears and Crims is going to be breathing a sigh of relief. He just brought it back to a 3-on-3. Does he still have utility, Crims? Yes, he does. He still has an incendiary. Decides to throw it out now. He's really expecting NiP to try and follow up on what Freiburg did. Like, he's really wondering what the hell's going on. Sometimes you feel like you got to go for the big play there, but unfortunately, Freiburg, he's kind of thrown away his team's advantage. Now NiP, they're just going to group up. I mean, this is the way to actually try and play off of this now. Group up together as a unit and just hope to overwhelm the defense, and this is it. Now the heat is really on here for JW, and he's not going to hit the shot. Forest is really massively going to step up here.
That's an impactful play if you've ever seen one. Being able to find both of those is going to keep NiP alive. Dennis was becoming a dangerous threat then. They were all focused towards where JW was. Didn't even consider him there, but in the end, Forest turns at the right time. Now, Crims left in this 1v3. I'm not sure on the money right now. It's pretty decent for Fnatic. Not perfect, but they have enough into the next couple of rounds, especially if Crims has this. They can just kind of force around it and get everything they need pretty much utility-wise. And NiP finally get themselves going on this. But again, that was the first time we've seen that real commitment from Fnatic for that aggressive stance. Olaf just pushing right down Banana, and in the end it got a little closer because of Freiburg, I guess, kind of walking into what was a very poor situation in hindsight. But Crims is going to keep this rifle no matter what. No one's close by, and Fnatic going to have him with that one. 3 rifles saved for NiP is pretty important considering there wasn't that much money left over for the other players. So NiP live to fight another day for now. 15-10.
Yeah, and Fnatic have mad money. They had 2 guys around 9,000, so yeah, with Crims saving that rifle, it's a very healthy buy for them. No problem at all. And NiP, they will be able to go for it. So now, how do NiP decide to change things up? They tried to get aggro and Banana last round. That didn't really pan out nicely for them. And wow. So Fnatic right now, they're thinking, okay, NiP, they kind of got slapped down on Banana. They may try and go for something aggressive in mid this time around, like aggressive A. And so they put 4 players here right off the bat. Like, not even wasting any time.
Now, NiP previously, when they were playing Akademita on this map, they did consistently go A. They were playing through Abs a hell of a lot. And then that finally broke when Fnatic did do this 4-stack towards A at the very start of the round. But that's then, this is now. This is not what NiP have been doing consistently. And it's a bit of faith saying, well, you know what, A works. You should go there again. That's the logical thing, guys. But there is still NiP trying on B, trying to find out the information. They have 2 minutes to work with, pretty much. 1 left now into the board. And Freiburg just wandering through that smoke. Crims is holding the angle. I'm not sure if they've seen that, where it came from, the angle they dropped. And I think they might have an idea. But again, NiP not getting much ground at this point.
No, they certainly are not. I mean, they're doing a good job of, you know, baiting out the utility. That's the big thing. But then somehow JW finds that pixel shot onto Forest. And the man holding him Pit not able to do anything to help him either. So, man advantage now for Fnatic, but they are going to be looking... I mean, it looks like NiP want to go towards B side. They still have some incendiaries to work with. The smokes as well. But there are 3 players here for Fnatic. 2 of them on the wrong side of the smoke, though. So, just a little awkward.
They couldn't make it work against 2, let alone 3. Now flashed up. They've got 20 seconds. They have to hit this site. There's no 2 ways about it. And there we go. Olaf's going to find Pit already. The crossfire is primed and in place. And Fnatic looking deadly as ever. And Flusher walks through and ends NiP swiftly.
Yeah, no close game on Inferno this time around between these 2 teams. Fnatic, they got warmed up after Cash. Cash, they came into it clearly very cold. This was like the world, you know, domination kind of Fnatic that just aren't stopped like at any point in time.
And the initial T side from NiP wasn't bad. They started to, you know, show a little bit of
They started strong.
Yeah, there was something there.
5 rounds, I think it was. They got to.
Yeah, like a good couple back to back. But it was like just Fnatic's T side was deadly, and it was extremely strong and just not quite enough there with NiP clearly. But a good display again from NiP. Maybe not showing everything they have on Inferno yet, but good enough. They put up a challenge, but still, Fnatic's home is their home for a reason.
They're still the best team on Inferno in the world. So, you know, there you go. Case in point. You know, NiP, they looked like they had some idea of what they wanted to do. They looked like they were able to put up at least a little bit of a fight on the first map when Fnatic were still groggy. But as soon as Fnatic woke up, I mean, that's pretty much it just kind of illustrates the gap right now between both of these teams and what each of them are capable of. Crims as well. I think that round that Crims clutched probably, really messed with NiP's head.
Oh, it would, wouldn't it? Like, as you said, Get Right's not the player that normally does that sort of thing, spraying into the body of opponents, getting kind of, like, frustrated. Maybe there is something there to be read into, but I think that's enough from us. Let's head over to the analysis desk to see what they have to say.
Thanks very much, Lauren. We've got quite a lot to say, actually. I mean, considering that we were surprised by NiP delivering in the first map over on Cash, and now Fnatic did. I like the way Semler summarized it just by saying, yeah, it felt like a bit of a wake-up call. Felt like a little bit of a wake-up call. I'm getting distracted, but basically it was a case of Fnatic kind of wiping the sleep out of their eyes, and Halvor's favorite.
This is a very unhappy Juve fan as well as many other things.
Yeah.
That's going badly wrong. They're 4-2 down now. But
Stop.
Let's talk about this. Do you mean spoilers?
Someone could be watching it later. They got it on record.
We're going to be about 2 minutes behind that goal.
Okay,
There's no chance that's going
CS
in. But
scores,
let's talk about this. So Fnatic started off. They were 5-0, and then they lost finally, and they got in there. But the difference is that how is that speaking?
How late is it,
the difference is that Fnatic immediately broke straight back on NiP and carried on. Now Fnatic did exactly the same thing. They went 5-0, lost the 6th round to the Rifles, and then Fnatic held. So so they couldn't keep it rolling on the T side. And as obviously they just alluded to, those clutches. You had the Crims clutch in there, the Get Right clutch. There was a number of great moments, but as they said, the Crims immediately spin around, two bullets. Thank you very much. Found the guy in pit, and then, well, speaking of pit, he had no chance, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, just to have the presence of mind to be like, I need to jump shot him. The accuracy on a Glock is much better than anything else. If I'm going to jump over this box to do 2 rounds of the burst as well, just instantaneous thoughts that not every player is capable of. Great stuff from Crims.
Yeah, just as a team, Fnatic played a lot better this game, and you could see that especially on their T side with how well prepared or how well executed their mid takes was on that A bomb site for the better part of the first half. You could see that they didn't necessarily commit to it, but they would always mess up NiP's defense. But they would either push them back so passively that they would be forced to rotate that second guy from B over towards A, which allows easier take on B. So Fnatic just played that, by the book, and it worked out really well for them. And that's what we talked about before the game started, right? This is the kind of team play that Fnatic has going for them, where they just kind of force their will on people without necessarily committing too heavily, and then they have a much easier job.
So with NiP conceding this loss, it would be kind of fun to take a look at what they've got coming up. I mean, we've been saying it's going to change. Don't look at that second position because it's going to change. Let's actually look at what's coming up for NiP. They've got 5 more games to play, and we can go ahead and speculate whether or not they can go in their favor. I'll start with you, Halvor. I mean, they've got 2 Danish matchups coming up. At least one of them should be a walk in the park.
You say walk in a park. Yeah, should, I guess. No, I think they have a pretty okay schedule. I think they can definitely go 2-0 versus SK. Same thing versus Flipside Tactics. As for the Envy game, that's going to be interesting to see. We don't really know where we have Envy with their new lineup as of right now.
Yeah.
But again, with NiP being such a good position as they are right now, if they pick up 2 wins versus SK and Flipside, they could be okay with either losing 2-0 to Astralis or just going 1-1 versus G2, Envy, or Astralis for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, they're 10-2, and even if they do get 2-0 by Astralis, you'd think, okay, well, the likelihood is they'll beat SK 2-0, they'll beat Flipside. If they don't beat Flipside 2-0, they've done something wrong. Could split with G2. G2 will split with quite a few people.
True.
But yeah, the Astralis and Envy game, they're the real big challenges in there. It really depends what map they get G2 on, because obviously NiP just did really well on Cash. The problem is G2 were good on Cash, so they'll have to find some sort of ground where they're got an advantage.
Duke it out.
So a lot of faith in seeing NiP then in the offline stages.
I mean, especially the fact that they've just split that one, because this was the big one. You're looking at it going, well, they're going to be 9-3 by the end of the day. Well, actually, no. They managed to take a map off. The only other team to take a map off Fnatic.
And we're going to be remembering that Cash win for a while.
Yeah.
But let's actually go ahead and remind ourselves of all of the matches that did take place today. We had 4 of them. We started our day with Inferno as well. Little bookends of the map Inferno. We started with G2. Dignitas, however, which went the way of the French. The second, however, didn't. Dignitas picking up a huge win. A win that no one really anticipated on a map that we saw them look incredibly weak on versus Na'Vi. 16-10 in favor of the Danes. And if you have just joined us, you missed the the Score Esports hot match of the week. It was NiP battling with Fnatic, and talking of surprises, a cash victory, and in sterling fashion, 16-2 in favor of Ninjas in Pyjamas, picking that one up over Fnatic. However, Inferno, it's Fnatic's playground, and it certainly looked like that. NiP just scraping the double digits before they conceded that
Identical
loss.
Scores, both games. 16-6, both
Conspiracy.
first, 16-10, both second. Split
Scripted.
both ways.
Yep.
Scripted,
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should have known at the start of the day, but very contrasting game, especially for the G2 Dignitas game. You just assumed G2 were in cruise control, especially with Existence going absolutely crazy on at the start of Overpass. But all credit to the likes of Dignitas, Rubino especially on the B side, carving open B side against Scream. Someone you wouldn't expect to be coming out on top so often or so regular against. It just gave Dignitas good control. They needed wins. And they needed something because they've not had a good 2 weeks.
Any closing thoughts from you, Halvor?
Excited to see NiP play as well as they did on Cash.
I don't.
Headlights. No, really, just exciting to see NiP play as well as they did in the first map. I guess we still see that they have something to work on in the second game there. Fnatic kind of getting that wake-up call as well. Also,
I'm never doing that again. I'm so sorry. That was literally like just throwing, like, here's the bus, I just threw it over you. Like,
no, that's it's fine.
What thoughts? What? Who have to have thoughts?
I like the fact he's closed off the thought play. He's like, nope, lost it.
I had enough.
Yeah.
It's
the reason
done.
Halvor is in a different place is because, of course, the
Juventus lost.
Juventus conceded 2 very late goals.
Yeah. 3 very late goals.
Anyway, we are not an analyst desk for football, and now we have to talk about more CS, which is coming up very soon. Of course, in about 2 hours' time, give or take, you're going to have North American stuff kicking off, where we're going to be seeing Cloud9 Renegades. Now, that's a matchup I'm definitely going to be tuning in for. Renegades have been doing pretty damn well so far. Been interested to see how they clash with
I think
Cloud9.
they're second in the table as well. I think
That's right, yeah.
Optic are first. Crazy.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. We aren't going to be seeing Optic, but we will be seeing Complexity CLG as the second game of that day. So that should be fun, and if you are on a standard gamer sleeping pattern like most of us, you'll be able to catch them if you are in Europe. So do be sure to stay tuned and join us in about 2 hours on this very channel. Don't even need, just leave the tab open. Stay right now for 2 hours while we do disappear. First, though, before we do say goodbye, I have to remind you what's coming up for the next European side of things. It will be tomorrow. We're going to be seeing Dust 2 between G2 and FaZe. Alongside that, we're going to be seeing the battle on Cash. Then Mirage and Cobble going down for our 17th match day. Good to see Mousesports battling out with SK, a win that they really kind of need at this point in time. They are severely lacking results.
That's a big old relegation battle right there. Who's going to come out on it? Obviously, VP are also involved in that one. Mousesports and SK have both been involved in relegation before, so they're going to want wins, 100%.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Maps looking pretty good for Mousesports, though, I have to say. Even though SK are getting a cobblestone in there, Mirage didn't go too well for SK last time we saw them.
Yeah, ban Dust 2 out, no surprise.
Zero surprise. But we are going to go ahead and disappear, guys. 2 hours before the North American stuff kicks off. We look forward to seeing you Saturday, where it all kicks off once again. See you guys, and stay tuned.